Hello, I'm Deb Chaney of Waterville. I am the DGE of District 6600, and I'm here today with Andy Stewart, the immediate past president of Toledo Rotary. And we're here to talk about the Lake Erie Watershed Conference. Andy, Why is Rotary doing a conference again this year?
Well, this is a long-term problem. It took a long time to build up to what it is today, and the solution to solving the problem of toxic algae in the lake is probably going to be a decades-long effort to solve. So this conference is just the second in probably conferences that will take place over the next 20 years until the algae in the lake is gone.
Okay, I thought the lake looked clean. Is there still a problem?
Oh yeah, there's still a very large problem there.
Okay.
The only reason why the lake didn't have the kind of massive toxic algae blanket this summer is because we've had a drought.
Okay.
If you think about what happened last year, where we had a lot of rain in June, and the same thing in 2014, whenever there's a heavy rainfall, we ended up having a very large blanket of the algae. And in fact, last year it was so large it went past Cleveland all the way to Mentor.
Oh, wow. So is this just a Northwest Ohio issue, or is it a problem all over the world?
Well, algae has now become a global problem. It's not just here in Lake Erie, it's also in Florida. It's off the west coast from California to Oregon. It's in Australia, China. It's everywhere now. And in fact, Tim Ryan, one of our fellow District 6600 Rotarians, on his way back from the Seoul conference, stopped off in Sri Lanka to check on a project, and in meeting with Rotarians there, discovered that kidney disease is rampant there because of the same toxic algae problem. There isn't any fresh drinking water anywhere in Sri Lanka, and they don't get a chance to go to a grocery store and buy bottled water. So it's a terrible thing that we need to address.
Well, what can Rotary do that's different than any other organization? What can we do that's better?
Well, there's two issues around this that Rotary can really help with. It's a complicated issue. The algae is coming from multiple sources in lots of different ways. And because of that, there really isn't a central leadership that's working on this issue. And there certainly isn't the kind of collaboration that's going to be necessary to solve this problem. And when we think about Rotary, those are the two things that we do best. We lead and we collaborate. When Rotarians walk into a room together, they set aside all their personal differences and they unite in the ideal of service. And I can't think of a more critical issue than providing fresh drinking water, not just here, but around the planet. And in fact, Rotary International is looking at District 6600 as a way to create a model to solve this problem in other parts around the world. So it's critical that all the Rotarians that are in District 6600, in Zone 29, all that live around the lake, come to this conference, learn about the problem, and help guide the path, lead the path to first alleviating and then eliminating algae in the lake.
Well, Andy, I see that the conference is on a Friday.
Yes.
Friday, October 28th.
Yeah.
Why should I take a Friday off?
Because only Rotarians can really help solve this problem. Rotary and Rotarians have to understand that this problem is tied up in a Gordian knot of money and politics. And only Rotarians who have this ideal of just doing the right thing can bring that kind of notion to solving this problem. There's so many people that have so much of a financial stake here that don't want to solve this problem. There's been what has been described before, a stony silence around the issue of toxic algae in the lake between our government officials, agriculture, industry, and others. But we have got to break through that. And we can break through that because of our reputation for just doing the right thing. So I'm asking people, you're asking people, the leadership of our district is asking people to take time off, come to learn about what the problems are, and then start working on a path to solving the problem. So in other words, we want to join with other leaders, exchange ideas, and take action to get rid of this algae in the lake and create a model perhaps that can be replicated around the world so that places like Sri Lanka and Australia and China and Africa can then also solve their problem as well.
Thank you, Andy. So let's go over it again. It is Friday, October 28th from 8 to 5 at the Seagate Center.
Yes.
And if they want to register online, where would they go?
They go to lakeeriewaterconference.org, and all those details are there, and they can register online. It's very easy.
Andy, I can tell you're very passionate about this. From the district, we want to say thank you so much for everything that you're doing for District 6600 and the Water Conference. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Deb.